What's up? I'm Logan Mills. Welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. It's a beautiful day outside. Sadly, we're not on the water, but we do have a pool that we can test the lures out. Today is going to be on one of my favorite bites. I wouldn't say they're my favorite lures just because it's so difficult, so much time. But today we are going to be talking about topwaters, mainly spooks and baits that you do walk the dog, just because that's what I had on. We might talk about whopper ploppers, frogs, and other baits like that in another video. um, but so this lure I have here is a spook. I mean, they're wonderful baits, but I don't want to get too much into that because that will be on the Stay Hooked Thursdays. So I'm really going to talk about how to work this thing. There's really only one way to work it. I mean, I'm sure you can find other stuff, other ways to work it, but how I work it is, you just simply make a cast. And I'm using a spinning rod. And personally, I like a spinning rod because that's what I learned to use a topwater on. So it's just easier for me to do. If I had to choose though, I can work a topwater better on a spinning rod, but I rather it on a bait caster just because the bait caster gives me that extra. I feel as if it gives me more backbone, and if I catch a bigger fish rather than using something like this, where this is more for my finesse fishing. Of course, I wouldn't use this specific rod. This one's a little light. I have a heavier rod in there. I like a rod more like a medium where, because these fish hitting top water, a lot of times they'll hit it and miss it. And so I want a rod that's not gonna bend too much to give too much give, but I don't want a rod that's just gonna be super stiff to rip the hooks out if they only get one in. So I want that extra little I want a little bit of a bend just so I try not lose fish. I don't know why I do this, but this is how I work it, and it works for me. I've caught a lot of fish on this. It's very simple. Just make a cast out there. I can't really do it with a bait caster that well. So when I'm working it, I don't know why. This is exactly how I hold it. You don't have to. I don't even know why I do it. Just my finger right here just helps me to get that perfect little, because you don't want to jerk it on tight line. It doesn't work as well. While you're throwing a bait like this, you want to walk the dog. Basically, that is this little action that's left and right. You'll see right there. It's this little left and right. I don't even know why it's called walk the dog because I've never seen a dog go back and forth like that. But that's what it's just called. So this, I usually do it. You want to find that little perfect in the middle where you're not doing it too fast so it's coming out the water. And well, I mean, there's no really like speed. It's whatever you're comfortable with and whatever the fish are chasing. I mean, if bass are chasing bait fish that are just scooting across the top of the water, then you'll probably want to throw this a little bit faster. But I mean, there's really not much you can do. It's not versatile in the sense of you can't throw it 20 feet of water, like down at the bottom. It's only going to be able to work on top water, but it is nice because it allows you to get in places that you might not be able to, like a frog, if casting lily pads. That's a way that you can get back in there that you're not going to with any other type of bait, really. This bait is awesome. The only problem is you can't throw it anywhere you'd like to because the hooks are on the bottom. You pick up grass and whatnot. But one, not say problem, but challenge with a topwater, any topwater, is fish. I don't know if you call it short striking, but they just hit it. I've had fish absolutely annihilate this spook, knock it 2 feet out the water. They don't get the hooks. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can slow it down, speed it up, find what the fish really like. But you just have to find, when throwing something like this, you have to find the speed that the fish want, but also that you have confidence in. I mean, this is a simple bait. I mean, there's not much to it. You really can't mess it up. It just takes time and practice to get the walk the dog down perfectly, because it's really it's a feel. You can't really describe, except it's kind of like a jerk bait in a way, because on slack line, but it's just something you have to feel. You just have to learn how to do it. I mean, but not always are the fish gonna want it this, perfect. So you could do it a little shorter ones, you can do it longer strides. I mean, there's so many different ways you can work this bait. You have to find that works for you. Personally, I like to find a happy medium where it does that perfect little like this, but it's not too fast, not too slow. And you just got to keep casting, keep chunking it, and keep grinding it. Topwater baits, they can be tough, but they can also produce some big bites. I've caught a lot of decent fish. That's another reason I kind of do like it more on a bait caster, because the bites are usually, depending on where you're at and what you're doing, your bites are going to be a little bit bigger depending on your bait. So I like that extra backbone in a bait caster, but you can find that in a spinning rod. So whatever works for you, you could throw them on both. I personally like this. And I think that's all I have for Technique Tuesday on spooks and other baits that walk the dog. If you like this video, the whole summer, well, the whole year from now on, we're going to do Technique Tuesday. And so if you check out the other ones, and the other series that goes with this is Stay Hooked Thursdays, which will break down this bait more in depth so you have a better understanding of what it is, what it looks like, and where to throw it. I'll see you on the next one. Stay hooked.